Alex Hormozi is known for scaling his business Gym Launch to a multi-seven-figure run rate. And a few years ago, he exited the company for $46.2 million. And now he has a portfolio of companies doing over $200 million a year using the same strategies. After watching a dozen of his videos and podcasts, I noticed a consistent theme. Him and his sales teams mastered the art of cold calling to grow Gym Launch and his other businesses as quickly as they did. The problem is, over the years, he's posted thousands of hours of content online, and it would take you days of your life to sift through it all. So to save you a ton of time, I did the hard part for you and found the best clips of Alex Hormozi talking about cold calling. And in this video, we're gonna break down Alex's best advice on cold calling that you can use to level up your sales skills.
If you can figure out a way to contact somebody one-to-one, you can use it for cold outreach. So you can knock on 100 doors, make 100 phone calls, you can send 100 direct messages, you can send 100 voicemails, and it worked 100 years ago, it works today, and when the platforms change, it will work tomorrow.
The reason why that's true is because cold calling is just a human conversation. And so there's really no replacement for human connection. Even with all the AI stuff coming out, it's gonna be really, really hard to do that. Cold calling will just never go away because human communication will never go away.
So cold outreach has one key difference from warm outreach: trust. Strangers don't trust you, all right? They don't even know you. You're just a weirdo. And in the past, weirdos and strangers are danger. All right, so we have to bridge that gap of stranger danger in as short a time as possible to get them to know, like, and trust us so they will eventually do business with us, all right?
You know, that trust gap is exactly where a lot of reps struggle. How do you build trust in the first 7 seconds of the conversation, right? The first things that come out of your mouth are the most important thing. You just need to build enough trust for them to allow you to go into your pitch. That's where you can build up your status alignment, credibility, intrigue, and curiosity as to why they should listen to you. And then from there, that's when you can drive them to an outcome.
They didn't like us before, so we personalize it, and they don't trust us, so we have to provide big, fast value, okay? And so the key difference between people who know you and strangers is that strangers give you less time to prove your worth. When a family member calls, if they just waste your time, eventually you're like, all right, man, I gotta go. Right? Just like, okay, this is not worth my time. Someone you're familiar with, you give more time. Someone you're less familiar with, you give less time. Someone you don't know, you give seconds. Right? It's just a spectrum. And so here's how you do it. You give away the farm. We're not trying to tickle their interest. We're trying to blow their minds in under 30 seconds with the value that we're gonna provide them.
The first 7 seconds, you kind of have to say the same magic words over and over again, but then it's really in your 30-second kind of riff, pitch, if you will, high-level pitch, big idea pitch, that you need to create that curiosity, intrigue, show that you're someone competent to solve their problem to the point where you probably know the problem better than they do. And so that's when they're willing to open up and take action because you've built that value up front.
If you are new to outreach on the team, shout at the best guy on the team and then double their inputs. So if they make 200 calls, make 400. And if that means you work more, duh, right? You're gonna suck before you're good. And you can make up for your lack of skill with volume faster. Volume negates luck. And when you do twice as many, you get good in half the time. Look at what the best guy does, copy it exactly with twice the volume, and then until you beat that guy's numbers or that gal's numbers, don't change anything. And then once you have enough mastery, then you can get cute with it.
I've seen way too many reps who will try to freestyle right at the beginning of their cold calling journey. They say they're trying to find their voice. But to Alex Hormozi's point, you're not good enough to be yourself. And so until you've put in those 10,000 reps, you really should stick to whatever screenplay or script that you've been given, and then iterate off of that, just like what Alex Hormozi says. It's not just about working harder, but it's also working smartly as well. Don't put 1,000 dials into a list that's completely dead or they're all non-decision makers. Be self-aware enough to catch when those things are happening, but really volume is the baseline to even figure that out in the first place.
If I were to give you a script like, Jerry Seinfeld's comedy script, and you were to get on stage and you were to try and deliver that, right? The tone, the pauses that you would have would not be the same as his, right? His intonations would be different than yours are. And so as a result, he would be funny and you would not be. And you'd be wondering like, well, this worked for Jerry. Why is it not working for me? And so just like that, you may be looking at your team and wondering like, well, this works for me. Why is it not working for them? And you're looking and they're saying the words, but you're like, why is this not working? It's because they're saying them the wrong way.
It's so funny because that's exactly what will happen when a new rep comes on board. They'll say, hey, I'm saying the exact same words that are on the piece of paper you gave me. It's not about what you say, it's about how you say it. About 85% is the delivery of your script or screenplay. And then 15 is really the spoken word, the pauses, the intonations, the emphasis, the tonality, the volume of how loud you speak. So all those play into how effectively you can communicate your message to the prospect.
Everyone here, hopefully, has been on a hot streak at some point. Like there's some days you get on the phone and you're like, man, I can just close anyone right now. When you are hot, those are the videos you should watch. That's the game tape footage that you should go over and over and over again. When you're hot, you say things differently. You pause at different points. And it's those micro nuances that create master salesmen. Great salesmen never get cold. They are always on a hot streak because they know how to recreate success.
People ask me all the time, Micah, how do I get out of a slump, right? Because the slump's gonna happen. The sales slump definitely happens. The quickest way to get out of a slump is to play those call recordings over and over and over and over again until you can emulate the exact, not just words and like delivery, but like the energy and the spirit of those calls. There's plenty of softwares out there that can like record your calls for you, like dialing platforms. Personally, the one I use is Glen Coco. I'll have Glen Coco's AI score my calls and give me coaching feedback. And then I can also favorite the calls right here and then flip back to them at any point. Whenever I'm having a slow week or a slow month, right? I can have my short list of call recordings when I was on my hot streak.
And so my sales team would watch this happen, and then they would get on the phones and they would be so convicted about what they were selling. And so this leads into the two ways that you can fix this, right? So number one is that you become a master salesman. You become a master salesman through repetition and through studying game tape footage, which is the first thing I said. The second way, and the faster way of doing this, is to believe in what you sell. This is hard. I'll be real with you. Right? This is hard for a lot of people, especially if you're a business owner, because you know all the problems in your business. There are always going to be problems, and those aren't going to go away.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. You have to believe in what you sell. It's also just environment. If you're around other people that also believe in what you're pitching and you're selling and you're providing for customers, then it becomes a lot easier to you yourself believe. But if you're in a situation where you're surrounded by other sales reps who don't believe in the product and believe they're just here to make a buck, then it's going to be harder to cultivate that belief above the status quo. So find a team that truly believes in their product, their service, the way they sell, and it's going to be a lot easier to cultivate that as you're getting, if you're ramping up into a new role.
I couldn't help but give you one of my favorite outbound scripts I've ever heard, which is, hey, business, I'm calling about competitor, period. Give me a call back. So think about this. Imagine you have a dry cleaning business and it's Tom's Dry Cleaners, that's you. And you've got Jones Dry Cleaning across the street. And you get a call being like, hey, this is Alex. I'm calling in regards to Jones Dry Cleaning. Give me a call back when it's convenient. You're like so incredibly curious that somebody has left a message and they want to talk about your competition because you have this personalized message that you're sending, which works via email. It also works via voicemail. The likelihood that they respond is way, way higher.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's novel. I don't think very many people are doing it. It's simple. If you're going to do it via voicemail, typically you're going to want to use a tool, like some sort of like drop voicemail tool where you can send out 100 of those or automatically after every single call. So you're not actually doing that for each individual call. There is a world where maybe you have a smaller, tighter list and it's very targeted where you're not making thousands of calls. So that's where you could actually just pick up the phone and leave a voicemail like that. But that's a fun little technique.
And the last one, and this one is so unsexy, and because it's so unsexy, no one does it, which is why you make so much money doing this, which is you prep for 5 minutes before the call, looking up stuff about the person or the business. And so if you're a setter, you can do this for the closer, or a closer, you can do this for yourself prior to the call. 5 minutes of prep, in addition to, and this is clear, all the notes that the setter sets should be in the CRM. So by setting this seamless experience from click to close, from setter to closer to onboarding, you create an amazing process for prospects to go through.
Yeah, this is really money. We train our setters to make their notes as meticulously detailed as possible. By the time they got on the call with the closer to do a warm handoff to transition the prospect to the closer, there was enough information to have a really nice beachhead for the conversation, right? Whether that was building rapport on a personal level or whatever was relevant and the reason why they actually took the call in the first place. And then on top of that, for the setters, they have a tool to basically surface all the relevant information on the prospect before actually making the call. So when reps log into their dashboard, all the relevant information on the company is at their fingertips. So the prospect's LinkedIn, any recent news about the company, what's the size of the company, where's the company located. Just having that easily accessible is really big for the setters as well. And on that note, if you want to watch how I actually research before cold calls in real life, click the video here to go to the next one and check out some banger cold calls to see how a pro does this. In that video, I booked 10 sales calls live and show you the entire process start to finish, so you can literally just copy me. So we'll see you over there.